Hey folks, so last time we was talk about the social graphs and agentic network states and all of the things. And we already talked a lot about the agent identity and one of the ways of see the identity for the agent is what could agent do for you. So it was more capability focused because at the end of the day we're looking for the agents to do some job for us. And it's quite important for now. And for example, the capabilities, it's a part of the agent cards and agent protocols. But another way to see the identity, or at least a big part of this identity, is the social connections. And it's what my previous article was about, that we try to build the agentic society. And agentic society for sure will somehow mimic how the human society works, or maybe we will build something way better. But the main idea that another big pillar of agent identity is the social part. I know that a lot of people confused with the social term for the agents because they don't understand what it actually means. But in practice, we could say that your identity end up to be your relations. So the social part of the agent identity is the relations that agent form. And if you talk about the agents, they rarely do the job alone. Even the monolithic agent have some relations, for example, with the core LLM, for sure. And maybe with some other models. So we have some models. It's not the social actually, it's more related to the body and anatomy. But you would have the relation, for example, with the LLM providers. Another relation that you could have multiple tools that you use. And these tools actually could be in ownership of another companies or another agents and all of the things. So even the monolithic agent that not interact with each other have the dependencies, tools, LLMs and models, and all this somehow more related to his internal architecture, but still have some kind of social relations because all these tools, dependencies, and models are owned by maybe different companies or maybe different people. They could have the different compliance, security, privacy, and ethical guardrails that are important to understand when you start interacting with the agents. But everything gets more interesting in terms of relations and social part for the agents when the agents start interacting with each other, when they start creating the society. And here we could say that agent identity, it's crucial to have the understanding of relations and the social graph around. And relations could be quite different. And maybe we're not comfortable to expose all our relations that we have. And here we get this understanding of the relations in generally in identity world, because you could have the public relations. So we know that, for example, the most common public relations is the marriage. So we have the marriage certificate and we publicly say that I'm married with this person, and everybody knows it, and we even have the tradition to change the identity, that one of the spouse take the family name and all of the things. That's the one way. Another relations is less public, that you could have the pseudo-anonymous relations, that, for example, the other party doesn't care about your name, but they care about some traits of you. And for example, if you go to the coffee shop, they don't care about your name, they just need to put some label on the cup. What was more important to them, they need to remember what kind of coffee you really like. And sometimes you came to the people and they already start preparing you something because they know already your preferences. And yeah, so this pseudo-anonymous relations or trait-driven relations, it's more fell into this capability bucket, that we more focus more, for example, on the capability instead of some other things. Yet another quite interesting thing, that maybe fully anonymous relations actually, that you have some identifier, and then we could say that this identifier it's orthogonal to your identity. It allows you to describe the interaction, and that's it. But in this space then of these anonymous relations or pseudo-anonymous relations with the identifier, then the time is matter, the lifetime of the relation, because most extreme that for every interaction you just use the new identifier, and it will be more identifier of the transaction. For some, you use the stable identifier that will stay for a long of time, and this time span of the identifiers matter. So we could build some reputation and social graph systems that have the pseudo-anonymous identifiers with the partial disclosure of the traits, that still allow people to control better what kind of relations they expose to public, what kind of relations they expose to people that interact with them on some certain kind of transactions, and what kind of relations they expose only for the close circle of the friends and all other things. And this combination of privacy, disclosure, and the lifetime of identifiers to somehow create the layers. And these layers quite important. That's why we need to invest more on the layered networks and layered knowledge graphs. But your relations actually is your identity. And another quite important understanding that your relations is foundational for the next layers of the identity, that allows to add not just the relations but some qualified attestations and claims about you, including how good you are on these relations. But it's already the topic for the next talk. See you next time. Choose. Subscribe to our channel for sure. See you next time.